Hi, I am Mr. Aldali Shenabasappa. Welcome you all for today's session. In my previous video, we have discussed regarding the electrolysis and electroplating concept. Now, let us take up some problems regarding these concepts. So that we have taken it as a numerical on electrolysis concept. So let me take a first question. In that first question, let us understand how the question will be framed, what you need to actually calculate in that. So here we come with the first question. So let's have a detailed idea about this. Let me read it. In a copper sulfate voltmeter, the weight of the copper cathode is increased by 100 grams in 3 hours. Okay, so there is a copper sulfate electrolyte in which the weight of that copper cathode is increased by 100 grams. So due to that electrolysis process, weight of copper cathode is increased to 100 grams, increased by 100 grams, and the time taken for that is 3 hours. Okay, calculate the current required. Okay, so you need to calculate what is the current required to get this, to achieve this. So calculate the current required, and they given some other information here. Atomic weight of copper is 63.5 and its valence is 2. Atomic weight of silver is 108 and its valence is 1. The electrochemical equivalent of silver is 118.8 into 10 to power of minus 8 kg per coulomb. So these are the information given. Now let's see what you actually need to do here. There is a copper sulfate voltmeter, copper sulfate electrolysis concept, and there are two cathodes. On one cathode, there are cathode and anode, two electrodes will be there, and that cathode, copper is placed on the cathode, and that weight of that copper developed in this electrolysis process is 100 grams, and time taken for that is 3 hours. We just need to find what is the current required to get this much of copper on a cathode. Okay, so we know that the mass of the quantity which has been developed over there, that is the copper, the mass of copper is 100 grams, and the relation is like this: mass is equal to ZIT. This is according to the Faraday's first law. It depends upon the electricity flowing through that, and I named it as equation 1. Z is an electrochemical equivalent of copper, I is the current which is flowing through that, T is the time. Here we know M, that is mass. Mass is given as 100 grams, but I want it in terms of kg, so it is 100 by 1000 is 0.1 kg. And also we know what is the time given is. Time given is 3 hours, but here time is in terms of seconds I want. So 3 hours means 60 into 60, 3600 seconds. When you multiply that, we get 10,800 seconds. That's okay. But if you want, now we got mass, we got time. Let me use a pen here. So we got a mass here, and also we got a time. Only the thing we need to get Z, means that is ECE of copper, because copper is what we have developed here. So once you get that copper, then you can identify what is this current I. You can easily simplify and get I. So to find this Z, so you need to find the Z here. To find the Z, electrochemical equivalent of Z is unknown, that we don't know, it is not given here. Electrochemical equivalent of silver is given, and they are given the atomic weight value of copper and valence. So using this we can find the unknown parameter. So let's see how to do that. We have chemical equivalent of silver, that is given here. Okay, chemical equivalent of silver is not given here, so we can calculate it. We have atomic weight of copper, we have atomic weight of silver. So chemical equivalent of silver can be obtained as atomic weight by valency. So that is 108 is the atomic weight, and valence is 1. So this is the chemical equivalent of silver. Okay, so I'll tell you why we are calculating the chemical equivalent. We can have a relation between the chemical equivalent and equivalent electrochemical equivalent. So first I will find chemical equivalent of silver as well as copper. Same way, chemical equivalent. Similarly, chemical equivalent of copper is the atomic weight, that is 63.5, and its valence is 2. So by 2. So this is the atomic chemical equivalent of copper. Once after getting these two, we can try to get a Z, that is electrochemical equivalent of copper, which can be obtained by having this relation. Chemical equivalent of copper divided by chemical equivalent of silver is equal to electrochemical equivalent of copper by electrochemical equivalent of silver. So this is the relation we have. Using this we can find the ECE of copper. So this ECE of copper is mentioned as Z. So once you find the ECE of copper, you can substitute here and you can get I. So that's what we have done here, 31.75. So substitute those values and get ECE of copper. So after substituting, the ECE of copper is so and so. This is 10 to power of minus 8 kg per coulomb. So we got Z. This is Z. So substitute this in this equation 1. So hence, once we substitute that in equation 1, M equal to ZIT, we get I is equal to M by ZT, and if we simplify that, we get the current I is equal to 28.172 amps. So this is how the problem has to be solved. So this much of current is required to develop the copper of 100 grams on a cathode in 3 hours. I hope this is clear. Now let's move on for the second question. Here the question is something like this. Find the thickness of a copper deposited on a plate of surface area 5 into 10 to power of minus 4 meter square during electrolysis when the current is of 10 amps flowing for 1 hour. So you need to find the thickness of copper which is deposited on a plate of a surface area 5 into 10 to power of minus 4 meter square. Okay, and the current is given as 10 amps and it is made to flow for 1 hour. Density of copper is given, and also electrochemical equivalent is also given. So here no need to find the electrochemical equivalent of copper. So it depends upon the questionnaire. So how to solve and what to solve, it depends upon the question. Now in this question they asked you to find the thickness of deposition of copper developed. So you just need to find the thickness here of the copper. They are not even asked you to find the mass, they asked you to find the thickness. So how to find a thickness? So 5 into 10 to the power of minus 4 meter square, this is the surface area. So there is a bar, a steel bar on which the surface area is given, so on which there is a deposition of copper. So what is the thickness? That's what you need to find. So thickness of copper can be given as volume of that bar divided by area of that bar. Okay, so volume of that steel and area of a steel. So on that steel we have a copper deposition. It may be a steel or any other metal. So if you find the volume and area is given. So just if you need to find a volume. Once you find the volume, you will get the thickness of the copper deposited. So what is the volume? How to find volume? Volume is nothing but that is the cubic meter, that is the unit of volume. So you can say volume of the copper deposited can be given as mass, means what is the quantity of copper deposited on it, that is mass of the copper deposited divided by density of the copper which is deposited. So mass, unit of mass is kg and density is kg per cubic meter. So when we divide it, kg get cancelled and you get cubic meter. So that's the volume. So that is how you can get the formula if you don't remember the definitions of volume. Okay. So density is given, you need to just find mass of copper which is deposited. Actually mass of copper is not my requirement here. My answer, my requirement is thickness. I want to find thickness. But to find thickness, you just need to find what is the total quantity of copper deposited. After that you can find thickness. So what is the mass? Again mass can be given as ZIT. So here I is given, Z is given, T is given. Only thing simplified. But you need to be very careful about the units. Z is nothing but ECE, that is the electrochemical equivalent of copper, and that has to be in kg per coulombs, but here it is given in terms of milligrams per coulomb. So let's have a conversion now. Z is 0.3295 milligram per coulomb. I would just want to have it in terms of a kg. So milligram we have, if I just divide it by 1000 you will get a gram. When you divide it by 1000 into 1000 then you will get kg. So I am dividing it, so we get it as 0.325 into 10 to the power of minus 6 kg per coulomb. So this is the Z. Same way, current I is in ampere, no need to make any change, 10 amps, let it be as it is. T is hours, so I want it in terms of seconds. So 1 into 3600, so 3600 seconds. By simplifying this, we get the total mass of the copper which is deposited as 0.011862 kg. This is the mass. So we got mass now. Just find density. So density is given here. So just simplify this and get volume. See, first I have written the formulas, now I am going it in a reverse manner. So first I have written thickness formula, volume formula and mass formula, and then we found mass. Now we will find a volume. After getting volume we will find a thickness. So volume can be given as mass by density, mass divided by density values. So you get some answer, you will get the answer as like this, 1.333 into 10 to the power of minus 6 cubic meter. Now substitute this volume in the thickness formula. So thickness of the copper which is deposited on the surface area is given as volume by area. So volume divided by surface area, we get the mass, we get the thickness of the copper, that is 0.2666 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meter, which can be written in centimeter. 0.23666 centimeter. This much is the thickness of the copper deposited. So they have not asked you to find the mass of the copper, but to find this thickness we need to get that mass. So these are all interrelevant formulas. Okay, so you should assume you should get these formulas based on the question. Okay, right, I hope this is clear. Now let's move on for the another kind of a question. So question number 3 is relevant to the circular shaft. We have discussed regarding the rectangular type of a slab. Now let's see about the circular shaft. A circular shaft of diameter 12 centimeter and 24 centimeter long is to be coated with a layer of 1.6 millimeter nickel. So we need to have a coating of 1.6 millimeter nickel on a shaft. Okay, so the current density is given as 200 amps per meter square. Current density is given and energy efficiency is given as 95%. So these are the given data. There is some other information. The specific gravity of nickel is given as 8.9. The specific gravity is given. Let's see how to use this. And its ECE is given as 1.0954 kg per 1000 ampere. Generally ECE will be given in terms of kg per coulombs, but here it is given kg per 1000 amperes. Let me keep it as it is and see how to solve this. Determine the quantity of electricity required in amp hour and time taken for the process in hours. So here you need to find the Q, that is electricity, quantity of electricity required in amp hours. Amp hour means that Q is equal to IT, I into ampere into time. And how much of time in hours? So what is the time taken, means how much for time required, means for what time we need to apply that electric quantity, so that I can get a electric nickel coating on the shaft of 1.6 mm thickness. So that coating should be of 1.6 mm thickness, right? So to find this, let's see first how to find Q, then we'll go for later we'll go for time T. So to find Q, we have this Q in the mass formula. So we have M is equal to ZIT, where IT is nothing but Q. So we can say that Q is equal to M by Z. So once you find mass and Z, you can find Q. So Z is nothing but ECE of that particular element, that is nickel. It is given here. Now only the question is you need to find a mass. So mass of this diameter, or a mass of a nickel which is deposited on the shaft, right? Mass of a nickel which is deposited on a shaft can be given as surface area into thickness into density. See, mass of nickel is nothing but that will be in terms of kg. Now thickness of that nickel will be in terms of meter. Surface area will be in terms of meter square, that is the unit. So if it multiplied with the density, we get density is nothing but kg per meter square. So meter cube, kg per meter cube. So meter cube and this meter cube will get cancelled, we get only kg. So that's how we can obtain the formula for mass of nickel deposited on a shaft, circular shaft. Because of circular condition we got this. So here thickness of the nickel is given 1.6 mm, density of nickel is given, but they are not given density, they are given specific gravity. So density can be obtained, I'll tell you how it is, and you need to find surface area. So first let's see what is surface area of a circular shaft, that is given as pi d L. Sorry, this is L. So pi into d, d is nothing but diameter, that is given in centimeter. So 0.12 meter it will be. L is 24 centimeter, so 0.24 meter. When you multiply this, we get this as a meter square, surface area in meter square. We want answers in meter square here, so that thickness is given, everything I will keep it in meter square. Now hence you can just find the mass of a nickel, but the thing is surface area we got, I substituted that. Thickness is given 1.6 mm it is, so it should be multiplied as 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 3, so that it will be in terms of meter. But what is density? Density is given as 8.9. Sorry, specific gravity is given as 8.9, but I want density of a nickel. So density of nickel can be given as specific gravity into density of water, right? So because it is dissolved in the water, so specific density of water into specific gravity will give you the density of nickel. So density of water is 1000. So 8.9 into 10 to the power 3, that is 1000. That will give you the density of nickel. So this is the density of nickel. This is thickness. This is surface area. When we multiply all this, we get mass. that is 1.2884 kg. So we got mass, now we got m, we also have z is given in question. Simplify these two, we will get q. So let's see what is that value of q, and whatever the value we get here, value of q we get here, that is theoretical, because according using the formula we are doing it. So you can get it like this: q is equal to 1.2884, that is mass, z is 1.095 by 1000 amp hour. So 1000 amp hour, I'll keep it as it is. When you simplify this, we get q in terms of amp hour. So 1176.19 amp hour. But this is theoretical value. We need to find an actual value, practical value, because in question they have mentioned that the efficiency is 95%, energy efficiency is 95%. If it was 100%, then theoretical value and actual value required will be same. But now I can find actual value of electricity by taking theoretical value divided by energy efficiency. This can be taken as actual value of electricity. I will denote it as q dash is equal to q by, that is theoretical value, by energy efficiency. Energy efficiency here is 95%, so 0.95. Once you simplify this, we get the actual value of electricity required. See, we don't have 100% of energy efficiency, that is why we require more energy here. So compared to this theoretical value, this value is more. We require more energy than the theoretical value. That is practical answer. So this is the q dash is the actual electricity required to get that particular nickel layer on a shaft. So that is one point. So we found what is the q required, what is the electrical quantity required. Now you need to find time. Okay, so to find time, let me see, we know that q is equal to it, so I will use that relation now. We have q dash is equal to it, that is the actual value, so use that actual value, it. Okay, now I, if you know the current, then you can find time. But here current density is given, not current. In the question they are given current density, so using that we can find current. Current density is nothing but ampere per meter square, that is the current per unit area, ampere per meter square, that is given as 200. So into surface area, if you multiply with surface area, that is meter square, unit of surface area is meter square and meter square will get cancelled, will get ampere. So that's why I have taken current density into surface area is equal to current. So these are the things you need to think to get the solution there. So current density is 200 and surface area is already calculated. Once we simplify this, we get current. Current is 18.096 ampere. So after getting this actual requirement, what we need to find here actually, time. So once we get this current, we can substitute it in this q dash equal to it and get the time. So time required will be equal to q dash by I. This is nothing but 68.42 hours. And here you need to be very careful. The time required is asked in terms of hours. So just keep it in terms of hours, right? If it is asked in terms of seconds, then you need to convert. They asked it in terms of hours, so just keep it in hours. So that is the reason why we have taken q dash here as amp hour. Okay, I hope these are the problems which you have understood the concepts here. I hope this is very clear for you. If these concepts are clear, kindly like this video and share among your friends. Thank you.